Hello everyone, this is Brooke and welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me today. I really appreciate it. Today I'm going to do a get ready with me video. It's going to be chit chat style and hopefully it won't be as long as my last one. But anyway, I'm going to do a chit chat get ready with me showing you how I typically put on my makeup for work in the morning. Now when I have done other tutorials, I've done many more steps and used many more products than I use on a typical work day. And today I'm just going to show you what I use, which I consider to be my workday essentials. Now there are times when I go to work with more products on, where I spend a lot more time on my face, and there are times where I just put on some powder, lipstick, and eyeliner and call it a day. But this is what I like to do, and this will get me in and out of the house pretty quick and also feeling really good, like I put myself together. So I'm gonna get started with that. And I want to say first, you know, obviously I don't have any makeup on right now. I just was having an allergy attack. Seasonal allergies have hit me hard already this year, and I don't know, my nose is red, so we're going to try to do something to take care of that. And also, my eyes are puffy, all that good stuff is going on. So we're going to take care of some things and just get started. So the first thing I want to do is go ahead and prime my face, and I'm going to use my Smashbox Photo Finish Primer Water. I just hauled this and I love it, and I'm just going to spray my face gently. And that actually feels good because my face is raw because I've been rubbing my nose so much because it's itchy and just all that good stuff. So I'll get that on there, let it dry a little bit, and then I'm also going to use another primer that I got. It's the Hangover RX by Too Faced, and the reason I'm going to use this is because I am going to try to see if it'll clear up some of the redness and things going on in my face because of my allergies. It says that it's replenishing face primer. It's got coconut water, electrolytes, and probiotics. So I'm going to try that. It has a little pump here. And I recently got this from a subscriber. Her name is Emily, and she sent this to me. It was very sweet of her. And I've used it a few times, and I really do like it. And I'm just going to put on a pump or two. Oops, probably got too much, but this is what I'm going to use, and rub this into my skin to give it a little bit more nourishment and hydration and all that good stuff, because it is really not liking me now because of my allergies. Fortunately, I've been drinking a lot of water, which is keeping me hydrated and combating the fact that my skin gets really dry and raw at this time of the year. So this actually feels really good, and I'm glad I went with this step. I normally wouldn't do both primers on a work day. I would just use one, but I'm glad that I did this because it feels really good. My under eyes are really raw from eyes watering and wiping them, but that feels really good. Okay, and the next thing I'm going to do is just go right into my foundation, and for my foundation, rather than using a liquid one, I'm going to use my Studio Fix by MAC. I am in the color NC50, and I just want to say too that I also trade off some days using the BH Studio Pro powder foundation, and that I'm in the shade 250. So 250 in BH Cosmetics powder foundation is an exact match for MAC NC50 Studio Fix. There's one thing I want to tell you about the BH Studio Pro, in that it is very powdery. I have not seen anyone do a review on that says how powdery it is, but you kick up a lot of dust when you're using the Studio Pro by BH powder. And with the MAC, I virtually do nothing. So on a day when I'm trying to do this really quick and get out the door, I use my MAC Studio Fix, and I use my mineral powder brush by Sephora. It's number 45, and I find that this is the perfect brush for this powder foundation. It's dense and soft, and it picks up a lot without a lot of fallout. So I just go ahead and put this all over my face. And the powder foundation is really nice because I save a step. I put this on and I can be as fast and messy as I want to, but I just kind of slap this on, and then I don't have to go back and set it with another powder. So it's pretty much set, and you can see like over here where I have discoloration from old acne scars, I really cover this up. This Studio Fix has a really good coverage for a powder foundation. I was very surprised when I used it the first time that it was able to cover up, and it's buildable. You would think that only liquid foundation could be buildable, but it is. Just go back over a spot that you want more coverage, and even if you have to stipple it to, you know, pat the color in, you can. So I just get my whole face done with the powder here. And you can see my eye is starting to water, so I'll have to take a little break to dry that up. Lately I haven't been wearing much makeup because my eye has been watering so much that it's pointless. So I put on my powder like this, and then I've been putting on just some black eyeliner, waterproof eyeliner, and then going ahead and calling it a day. But so I've got my foundation on. That takes virtually no time. Like I said, you can be as quick about it as you want. You don't have to set it. And then I'm going to go in and do some contouring. Now, a lot of times I don't do contouring when I'm being really fast, but today I'm going to be extra, and I've got my City Color Effects contour palette that I just picked up at IMATS. I really do love this, and I'm going to start off with the contour color. And it is the perfect shade for me. Get a little, tap it off, and then go right under those cheekbones and just kind of darken it up a little bit. I'm not trying to be really dramatic today. You know, I'm trying to do a workday look, and I really don't go all out like that to the office. Sometimes I do. Sometimes I'm in the mood to just go all out, but on a typical workday I keep it kind of basic. Get my contour in there. I love this palette because the contour color is perfect for me, and I believe that it would be perfect for a lot of people because the dark color is cool tone and you can build it up as much as you want. So someone who's got darker skin like me can, you know, build it up, where someone with fairer skin can just use a light, very light hand to go in there. So I've done my contour, and then next I'm going to go, oh, and I forgot to tell you that I use my Ita brush by NARS to do my contouring. For my highlight, I'm going to use the same palette, and I'm going to use the highlight color there. It looks scary white in the pan, but when you put it on, it's really pretty. It's got a nice little glow to it, and I'm going to use my Sigma tapered highlighter brush, the number F35, and just going to go on top of my cheekbones to add a little glow. A lot of times when I'm getting ready for work, I'm trying to brighten up my face and my eyes so that I look like I got a good amount of rest. But this is just another step that I like to do. And so I'm gonna make sure that the top of my cheekbones are glowing. And I also get a little bit down the bridge of my nose, my bottom of my forehead, my Cupid's bow, and my chin. So I do that. You see this glow right on my forehead? Isn't that pretty? And then just kind of getting the center of the face to glow a little bit, so that when, you know, the light hits it, it looks like you're glowing from within. Well, that's what I think. So, done with my contour palette, and then I move on to my blush, and I've been really loving the kind of neutral cheek with the, you know, doing more with the eyes and the lips and having a neutral cheek in between. So I'm going to use my Milani blush. It's the Milani Powder Blush in Romantic Rose. It's this one that looks like it's got, you know, the flower imprinted on there from that collection. I really do like this. It's a nice matte blush, and it's got nice pigmentation, but not too much because you don't want your blush to be crazy. So I'm just going to put that on there just for a hint of color, because I've got the contour and the highlight doing things to my cheek. I'm just putting this on for a hint of color right in between the two. And this, putting your blush on in between, helps blend out your contour and your highlighter so they don't look like just two stark lines on your face. You've got something in between that's kind of blending it out. So it doesn't really look like I've done a whole lot of blush there. I'm putting on a little bit more because the lights and the camera is just washing it away. But this is what I normally do for work, and this blush is perfect because you really can't overdo it, and it's good for lots of skin tones too. So I love that. And I was using my Sigma powder blush brush, the number F10. This is my first time using it. I picked this up at IMATS too, and it's really super soft and feels really good. So my face is pretty much done. I can also go back with the Eda brush and whatever's left on there, just kind of contour my nose a little bit and underneath my chin. Maybe I'll pick up a little bit more powder to do this. So picking up a little bit more contour powder, going underneath my chin and jaw, and then back on my nose to contour. Okay, so now my face is really done. And the next thing I'll do is, let's go on to my eyes. And again, really quick and simple to do this. I'm going to start off with my primer, but a lot of times on work days when I'm going fast, I don't use a primer because the quality of the eyeshadows I use is really pretty good. And it doesn't always require a primer, but I like to, and I have time today, so I'm going to do that. I just put a little tiny amount on my eyelids here. Mostly I'm doing this to make sure that my eyeshadows stick to something. I don't really have, well, I don't have oily lids at all, so I don't have to worry about the foundation or the eyeshadow breaking down because of the oils on my lids. But I do want the stickiness of the primer to hold onto my eyeshadow and make it go on a lot easier. So for my eyeshadow, I'm going to use my Stila in the Light palette, and I have been using this a lot this past month, mainly because of this color right here. It's called Kitten. It's like a cult favorite color. It's this really light champagne-y color that's got a, a nice frost to it, and I am really, really loving that. And what I'll do is I'll take that color and put it on my lid to just kind of really brighten things up. But first, before I do that, I'm going to take my, let's see, Coastal Scents brush. It's the fluffy blending brush. On the brush it says BR250, but I think they call this something super blending or whatever. But I'm going to go in with this color here called Sandstone. It's the darker brown color right there, and I am going to put that in my transition. So just kind of, you've seen me do this before, just kind of go on top of my crease and blend it over and up. Because what I want it to look like is, it darkens up your crease and gives it definition. But I want it to blend up so that it's kind of just gradually getting lighter, because I'm going to blend that into my highlight color, which is super light, and I want that to be a really good transition. So do you see what I did there? It's a little more definition in that eye than that eye, and I'm just going to do the same thing over here, obviously. No lopsided faces for me. Oops. And remember that when you take your eyeshadow or anything you have on your brush, the first thing you touch on your face is going to have the most pigmentation. So I put the powder on my brush, touched my face right there, and then that's where it deposited a lot of the color. So now what I'm going to be doing is blending like crazy to get it over to the middle where I want it and up. Okay, so then I'm just going to make sure I've got them both even and the proper intensity that I like. See, now I really, really do like this palette because I love the way it's blending, and I love the color of it because it's the brown, it's just a little bit darker than my skin tone, and it's matte. I always look for a nice transition color when I buy a palette, to make sure that they have it. So that's pretty much putting my transition on takes me the longest time as far as my eyes go. I spend the longest time, maybe my crease work too, but I really want my transition to be right, because the better your transition is, the better that everything else is going to lay down and blend together. So what I'm going to do next is take my MAC 239 brush and go in with that color Kitten, and I'm going to put that into my inner corner here. Now let me just dry my inner corner because it's watering already. Okay, so hopefully it'll stay dry until I'm done putting my makeup on. But I'm just gonna put that in there. You see how pretty that color is? And okay, so that's really really pretty, and it gives a nice glow to the eye. But this is something that you want to use with a very light hand too, because you don't want it to be really too bright. So I'm just gonna cover my lid, the first 2/3, the inner 2/3 of my lid, with the Kitten color. I'm sorry about this part right here not getting quite right. It's because my eye is damp right there, and the moisture is really affecting how the eyeshadow is going on. But oh well, we got it on. I'm going to take my Coastal Scents brush. It's a blending brush. It's the number BRCN06. If I can find out a better name for this, I'll put it down below. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into this color called Gilded Gold right there, and Luster. Kind of mix the two of those. It's this gray color and this brown color, and mostly I'm going to be using Luster and a little bit of Gilded Gold mixed on top, and tap that off, and I'm going to go into that outer corner there and blend that to the middle, right over the Kitten. See what I just did there? A lot of Luster, little Gilded Gold, and start in the outer corner and blend it to the middle, so that you have a nice transition between Kitten and these other two colors that I'm going on the outside with. Okay, so now I've got a little bit more definition, but to get even more definition, I'm going to take my Sigma pencil brush and the E30, and I'm going to go into the color Ebony, which is the matte black right here. This is a nice shade of black because it's not too black and stark for a daytime look. I think it's really nice. And this palette is so richly pigmented. I went in just with a touch of the brush, and it's filled up the brush very nicely. Make sure to tap off the excess so you don't have a lot of fallout on your face, because this is a darker color and we already have our foundation on. So we're going to do our outer V, which I'm going to start at this point right here, then go along my lash lines to the inner corner, and then go up into the crease. So I'm going to make a V, a sideways V in the corner here. So start out here, go down towards my lash line, and then up into the crease. So I'm going to close my eyes. You see how I kind of made a sideways V there? This is what, I'm sorry, I'm talking like you don't know, but you probably already know this. But in case you're a beginner, that's what people mean by putting the color in their outer V. So I'm just going to do the same thing on the other side. I really like this pencil brush for this, because you see how I can get really tight along my lash line. It really does have a good amount of precision to it, so I can get precisely up against my lash line and into my crease here. And in my crease, I'm not going to be so concerned about being really precise and making it extremely, just a straight line or whatever. If it's a little smudgy, that's okay, because that's my next step, is to go in with another brush. I'm going to go in with my, let's see here, my E40, the tapered blending brush, and I'm going to work this outer color, or this black, into my crease. I'm going to start over here. The pigment is already down, so all I'm going to do is just move and blend it. Blending it into my transition. And if I do it right, you'll be able to see a little bit of the brown above the black as a gradual change. Sorry, I'm making all these funny looks with my lips, but I've got it blended, and I can barely see. My eye is watered over and my mirror is far away, but I got it blended in there really nicely into my transition, and I'm happy with that. I'm just going to do the same thing on this side. Blend out this bottom and then really, really blend in my crease. And a lot of girls say that you're just taking windshield wiper motions, and basically that's what you're doing. You're just going back and forth with a clean, fluffy blending brush into your crease, and just getting it like that. So that is pretty much how I lay on my color. And then the last thing I'm going to do up above my eyelid is go back into Kitten with my MAC I think this is 242 brush. Looks like this. It's a nice thin brush, and I'm going to go back into Kitten because I like a shimmery brow bone highlight, and this is the perfect color. And I'm just going to go underneath my brow and blend this out underneath there. So it looks like a little bit much right now, but I'll show you what my next step is. Obviously going to blend that out a little bit, but first we just like to lay the color down. So now that I've got the color laid down, what I'm going to do is blend that into place with the brush I used for my transition color. So I still got a little bit of pigment on there. I'm going to bring that up a little bit, kind of up and over where I put my brow bone highlight. It'll kind of subdue that a little bit, but also make the crease and the brow bone highlight connect and make sense. So I'm just going to do that over here too. Just kind of blend that together with your transition. And I think that really makes a lot of sense. The next thing I'm going to do is my eyeliner, and for that I'm going to use my Stila Stay All Day Waterproof Eyeliner. The reason I'm using waterproof is because I got that watery eye situation, and I don't like it to come apart at work because that would just be bad, but it is what it is. So with the Stila Waterproof Eyeliner, I really do love this eyeliner. The one drawback for me though is that it dries shiny, opposite than matte. And if kind of, when it catches the light, it looks gray. Does that make any sense? But otherwise, it's a really, really good eyeliner. If they took this eyeliner and made it matte, that would be the best thing ever. But I'm going to use this because it's the waterproof eyeliner that I have at my fingertips. And I'm going to put a thin line. I'm not going to do wings or anything like that, but over my entire eyelid and just the top lid, or just the top lash line. Okay, so I have my eyeliner on. above the eye. What I'm going to do on my lower lash line is take my e.l.f. small smudge brush and go into, first off I'm going to go into Gilded Gold right here, and I'm going to put that all on the bottom of my lash line all the way across. Well, maybe not, I won't go into this inner corner too much because it's full of water and it'll just look messy, but I'm going to go under my lash line, kind of with a thick line. And I don't have to be too perfect with this because it's pretty much a skin color. What I'm doing is putting down like kind of a transition for my lower lash line. So I'm putting down this color, and then what I'm going to do is go into the black, and I'm going to mostly work with the tip of the brush, the fine point, and I'm going to stay on my lower lash line in the outer half. And I'm not going to go into my waterline because that would just wash away now, but I'm going to go into the outer half and place the color. By putting down the transition color, or the brown, it keeps the black from being too stark and harder to blend, because if I were to take the black and put it directly on my skin, it would really stick in there and be really hard to blend out, whereas if I put it on top of the brown, it's a lot easier to blend and smudge like I'm doing right now. So I just got a little bit of definition underneath my eye and my lash line, and that's pretty much all I do for a work look. And I'll just do the same thing on the other side. Just going in the outer half here, and make sure that you tap off your brush very well when you're doing this bottom, because it's a dark color and there's a lot of potential for fallout. So, and then what I can do, or what I sometimes do, is go back into my top up here and just put it way in the outer corner, right above that eyeliner, just to darken up that corner. So that is how I do all of that for my eyes. The last thing I do is my brows, and I'm going to go and use my favorite brow product, and it is this NYX, what is it called? NYX Eyebrow Cake Powder. NYX Eyebrow Cake Powder, and I just use this dark brown shade and my e.l.f. small angled brush, and just fill in. You've seen me use the Brow Wiz pencil before and go into the outer corner, but on a day when I'm in a hurry, I just use my brush and this powder, and I try to get the line as precise as possible for the tail of that brow and make it work. And I laid down more color towards the outer edge of the brow, and then I just kind of use what I have left on the brush for the middle, so that it's a little bit, it's not as dark, and it's like a more of a switch from dark to light as you go in. I just think that looks a little bit more natural. And so up here I'm outlining this top, going into the back here. I have less brow on this eye for some reason, but making my tail as precise as possible, and then outlining the underneath of my brow. Oops, got a little too carried away there. Brush it off. And then fill it in. And normally, you know, when I'm able to really get into the mirror and look and see what I'm doing, it doesn't take me very long to do my brows, and I can get them really looking pretty decent. I like using this powder because it makes me feel like they're natural looking, but also it's very quick for me. And then what I'm doing right now is trying to make them look like sisters, not cousins, and evening out the front parts here. So I think that looks pretty good. Pretty good work for limited visibility. And let me wipe my eye again because it's doing that thing. And some days I do, sometimes I don't go in with a brow gel and just kind of lay my brows down and make sure that they stay in place. Today I have a little more time and I'm going to do that. Because lately, well, that must be what it is. I've been taking biotin lately and it's making my hair grow a lot. Like, I don't know if you can see, but my hair is getting really long. And my eyebrows, I've noticed that I've had a few eyebrows sticking out every now and then, like, oh, I do right there. And that I need my gel, and that's probably because the biotin is making my eyebrows grow too. Duh. The last thing I'm going to do is put on my lipstick. I've been loving the Sephora lip creams. I like to wear them to work because they last all day, and no matter what I do at work, I really don't have time to, you know, fuss a lot when I get to work. So I prefer these long-lasting lipsticks, and this is a really pretty color that it's, you know, I got it, I think, did I get it in very early spring, late winter? I think I got it late winter, and I'm going to wear it year-round. I don't care if it's a winter color. It's number 14. I can't remember what the name of the color was, but if I do find it, I will put it down below for you. I'm going to go ahead and just put this on. And this gives me really, really good coverage, and it feels really, really comfortable. So I did that, let that dry a little bit, and I don't usually do this, but on top of my lipstick I feel like going in with a gloss, and today I'm going to go in with my Buxom lip gloss, and it's in the color Star. Really pretty, it's got a lot of shimmer to it. I love Buxom lip glosses and the way they feel. This is, sorry, oh, it's my day. I better hurry up before my eyeshadow is gone. But anyway, I love this lip gloss. I love the way it tingles. And I'm just going to put a little bit of it in the middle of my lips. Just right there. Just in the center of my lips to give it a little bit of a shine. But not too much, because I don't want to be really shiny when I go to work. So this is my work face. I hope you enjoy. Hope you like this video. There's not too much else to say about this. Come off. So there. Okay, there's my work face. I didn't do my mascara because I'm going to do a video right after this where I show you how I put on my eyelashes. That'll be a separate little video, but for right now, this is my work face minus mascara. That's coming up next, and I will be back soon with another video. I hope you enjoyed this one. Take care and have a wonderful week. Bye-bye.